Good morning.
Good morning.
It is nice to have an opportunity to visit. You have come with some deliberate intentions. You are enjoying the contrast of your time and place. Sometimes it's ear-splitting, yes. You are understanding that it is contrast that helps you to focus, and that it is that focus that is the molding of the clay. It is that focusing of energy that is the creating of your own experience. Ever getting that? You are the creator of your own experience, you know, and you do it by focusing. And by focusing we mean contemplating, musing, remembering, imagining. Most people do most of their focusing and therefore offering of vibration by observing something, because there is plenty of manifestation to observe, isn't there? There's this real life experience with all of its texture that is so interesting to observe. It is always the contrast that helps you to identify what it is that you want. And once you've launched that rocket of desire, source and that desire become one. So there's one valid, powerful point of the relativity. The other one is where you stand relative to it. So here you are, bipping along through life. You've given birth to lots of rockets of desires. In fact, your rockets of desires are shooting out into your vibrational future. We like to say to you that your desire, each and every one of them, is being held for you in vibrational escrow. And what that means is just waiting there for you. It's got your name on it. It's got your code on it. It is yours. No one can snatch it from you. It's waiting for you to do what? To become a vibrational match to it. You have to become a vibrational match to your own desire, or you cannot let your own desire into your experience. And that's what goes wrong with so many people. At different points of your life, you have come to honestly believe that you are worthy. Many of you haven't gotten there yet. And many of you believe that you can ask for things and that they should be given. But we hear a loud cry from humanity saying, Abraham, there must be something screwy with this. You say, ask and it is given. And I say to you, you say to us, then where's my stuff? Because I know I've been asking and it's not coming in. Something is wrong with this system that you are touting. And we say, oh, you're asking all right. You were born to do that. And Source is answering all right. Source always rides the rocket of your desire. So if you have things that you know you want that are not yet manifesting into your experience in the way you want them to be, it must only be because you are not a vibrational match to what you're asking for. And the reason, bless your hearts, that you are not a vibrational match to what you're asking for is very logical. It's because the contrast has confounded you. It's because the contrast which gave birth to the desire has within it things you don't want. And here in your action-oriented body, you have become accustomed to believing that if you can just push hard enough against that thing you do not want, it will go away. But in a universe like the one we all live in, which is vibrationally based, there is no such thing as no. When you see something you want and you say yes to it, you begin to vibrate as it does. When you see that thing that you say no to, you begin to vibrate as it does. There's a war against poverty, a war against drugs, and a war against AIDS, and a war against teenage pregnancy, and a war against terrorism, and a war against AIDS, and a war against terrorism, and a war against terrorism, and a war against terrorism. Did we mention that there's a war against terrorism? You seem to believe that if you push against this thing you do not want, that in time you will obliterate it, and then in its absence you will be left with well-being. And what we want you to understand is that the more you push against something, the more you activate the vibration of it. And the more you activate the vibration of something you do not want, the more you prevent yourself from being the receiver of what you do want. You know that you cannot set your radio dial on 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast on 98 FM. You know the frequencies have to match up. And this is exactly the same thing. So we want to begin here today by explaining to you who you are as source energy, who you are as creative genius, why you are here in this physical body. You are pure positive energy on the leading edge of thought. You did not come forth to fix a broken world. You didn't see it as broken. You came forth for the sheer delight of having exposure to experiences that would cause new desires to be born within you. Now, when we say you, we're talking about the you. We're talking about the non-physical you that knows that there is nothing that is ever complete. The non-physical you that takes such delight in exposure to new experiences which cause a eruption of new desire, because you know from that vantage point that that wave, that leading edge, that physical time-space reality leading edge that you were being born into is the leading edge of thought, and you know that's where the most exhilaration of life is. It's out here popping on the leading edge. A new idea, bam! Oh, we want to express to you the joy that Source feels when a new idea erupts within you. And Source does not hang around in the contrasting muck and mire that gave birth to the rocket of desire. In the moment that the new desire is born, the new vantage point, the new preference, no matter how big, broad, small, narrow, wide, no matter how big or important it seems to you, Source sees every new preference as important and relishes in the contemplation of it. So out here in your vibrational escrow are all of the rockets that you've been launching, all coming together with the added benefit of Source focusing upon them, which means to you, circumstances and events are being lined up. 20, 30, 40, hundreds, thousands of circumstances and events are all taking place, all taking shape in your vibrational future. Sometimes you have a dream about them, which gives you a sort of advanced announcement of them. It's easier to dream them sometimes than it is to live them, because there's less resistance to them in your dream state. But things wanted and unwanted are out here accumulating in your future experience. So today, you've got fortunes accumulating out here for you. New houses, new lovers, wonderful things, all taking shape and form out here in vibrational escrow for you. Also, there is some disease, some sickness, some disappointment, some worrisome things. In other words, you've launched a lot of things through your thought into your future experience. And you can tell by the way you feel what you're doing in terms of activation in closing that gap between where you are and what's in your future experience. 99, more than 99, 99.99, more than 99.99, almost all of your creation is complete before you see any physical evidence of it. It takes place in this vibrational realm. So if you care about the vibration of your being, if you care about the way you feel, now you're tending to your vibrational future. Now you're tending to the vibrational nature of your being. And now you are the deliberate creator of your own experience.